Me voy de aquí sin mirar para atrás.
Now, the Lakes District is known as one of Chile's most picturesque regions. And in a country with this many natural blessings, that truly is saying something. Well, this is probably a really good spot for me to show you that Portamont marks the edge of the Chilean mainland. And from here, this is the gateway to Patagonia, hundreds of raw islands surrounded by the Andes. Up here, we've got volcanoes, waterfalls, and wonderful neighborhoods to explore. There's a smell of seafood in the air. This is a big fishing town, but let's go exploring. Firstly, can I just say, what a lovely ship. Guatemala is the working center of the region. But a short drive away is its low-key and, well, I suppose more tourist-friendly counterpart, Puerto Varas, a compact town that's small enough to explore on foot. Well, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Now, I don't just have one volcano. I've got another one here. We really are encircled by them.
Yeah, we are circled by volcanoes and also lakes, and there's plenty of green areas and national parks here.
As well as the town's natural beauty, its German-style architecture and well-tended gardens make it a beautiful spot just for a little simple stroll.
From the 1850s till 1875, this land was offered for free to the brave pioneers that dared to arrive here and start a farm, for example.
So I've got to imagine, 1852, this was just all
lakes,
trees,
volcanoes, and the only thing that we were missing was a dinosaur, you see. And it was like untouched.
And the locals were like, that's too hard for me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to clear that land. But they went to Germany and said, help us.
Come here. You're invited to come. This is land for free. Why don't you do it? So they moved, not just here, but many different parts of the Americas.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you go further south, there's descendants from Spain. And at the tip of the country, at Punta Arenas, well, you find Croatians. So there's incredible diversity here in Chile.
And I think that Chileans, we like to welcome the people.
Celebrating that German heritage is the Antonio Filmer Museum. Housed in an old German barn, the museum covers decades of German colonization collected over a lifetime by the Filmer family. You know, I just cannot believe that I've come all the way to Chile and I'm chatting to a local man called Pedro Filmer. So I've got the Spanish first name and the German second name. Waffles on the menu. Apple strudel, 101 different beers. We've got skis up on the wall. Further along the coast is the lakeside town of Frutillar, with its black, sandy beaches and a landmark opera house.
The building behind is the opera house, like it's the most impressive opera house of Chile.
The world-class center opened in 2010 and has earned the city the title of Chile's first UNESCO Creative City of Music. Today's port of call is Castro. This is Chile's third oldest city. Founded back in 1567, a traditional way of life still reigns supreme here, with many locals living in rural areas around the city.
Today, on Saturday, is when all of these people come from the countryside to offer all of their products.
This is where the party is.
Exactly. So it's also part of the rural economy.
Now, you cannot go past a marketplace as a way of meeting friendly locals and learning more about an area's food scene and special delicacies. How many varieties of potato have you got?
We have already more than 300 different varieties. So we will see pink potatoes, black, blue, purple, white, yellow, with different shape, with different flavors.
Scenic Eclipse has an itinerary that allows the free time, as well as the ability to choose your own adventure, which is precisely what a few of my fellow intrepid travellers have chosen to do today. But the smell upstairs, that has led me to my idea of food heaven.
So I recommend the homemade bread.
So fresh, as you said.
A cheese empanada.
Okay, muchas gracias.
No, so this is the best. Homemade bread by themselves, still hot. Nothing can be better than this.
Delicioso. Delicioso. Muchas gracias.
Other than its delicious cuisine, the trademark of Castro are these colourful stilt houses known as palafitos.
This is the most important neighborhood of Palafitos. This is how we call it. It's located on the south side of Castro. It's like 40 houses built on stilts. So now with this low tide, people come to get seafood and seaweeds. And then with the high tide, they go to fish. So this is part of the typical life in Chiloé.
Wooden boats are all part of the landscape here, inspiring not just design on the water, but also on land.
Now I'm looking at that church and I can kind of see the influences of a ship, looking right at it.
Yes, it is. Well, this is one of the World Heritage Churches. It was declared by UNESCO in 2000.
To celebrate this, well, its unique history and craftsmanship, there's now 16 churches in the region that have been declared UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
Aha! So that's the upside-down boat that I'd heard of.
Exactly. So this is the technique that they use on the boats, and they use exactly the same knowledge to build this church.
And with the painting, does that mean anything?
Yes, it's special because 200 years ago, when they built this church, they want to make it seem like marble.
Like marble?
Yes, like the European churches.
And these days, that has inspired a huge sense of pride. Experience the new benchmark in ultra-luxury cruising on board Scenic Eclipse in the Chilean fjords and Cape Horn. This truly all-inclusive journey includes all meals, beverages, butler service, shore excursions, entertainment, Wi-Fi, return airport transfers, tipping, plus much more. Visit scenic.com.au/getaway to see the full collection of journeys, plus airfare credit and early bird offers. Getaway viewers who book by March 31 can save $400 per couple. So for more info, just call 1-300-790-372, visit scenic.com.au/getaway, or head to your nearest Scenic agent. One of my favourite writers is the Chilean author Isabel Allende. Do you know her? Do you love her? Well, just before I got here, I was reading her description of this part of Patagonia, the Chilean side of Patagonia, and she described it that this is where the country strings out into a rosary of unpopulated islands and milky fogs, a labyrinth of fjords, islets, canals, and water on all sides. And now that I'm here, it is precisely as Isabel described it. I just can't believe that I've made it here to see it for myself. With Scenic Eclipse at anchor, we have jumped aboard a local catamaran for an adventure to the San Rafael glacier, one of the most impressive and least visited of Patagonia's glaciers, owing to its remote location. So why do they say that this glacier is so important?
This is one of the biggest glaciers, the second biggest glaciers of the Patagonia, northern Patagonian icefield, yeah, and one, yeah, of the few that still reach the sea level.
These are the sort of incredible landscapes that Patagonia has become famous for, and we really are lucky enough to have front row seats to one of its most magnificent sights.
I never thought that the first thing I would say when I saw the glaciers is, I love the blue. I
Yeah.
love the blue. Why do you get that intensity of color and so many different shades of the blue?
So the intensity has to do with the concentration of oxygen in the ice.
Of the oxygen.
Yeah.
I see.
The sublime scenery sets the tone for the pace of life around here.
Life here is very relaxing, slow, and they say the one who rushes in Patagonia wastes his time. There's no point to rush or get stressed.